Hello friends. Earlier we have discussed about power operator in Python. We know that power it is an arithmetic operator and we use it in order to calculate power of various numbers. Now we will learn how we can use power operator in order to solve some real world problems and also how we can use it in order to simplify some complex calculations. Now let's solve the very first question. You have a cubed shaped container with the sides of 2.5 meter each. Calculate the surface area of the container. Now let's try to understand what this question is. So we have a cubical shaped container and whose sides are 2.5 meters. Now we have to calculate the surface area of this cubical container. Now in order to solve this, we need to know how we can calculate surface area of the cube. Now the formula for calculating the surface area of the cube is 6 multiplied by square of the sides. So first I will create a variable side and I will store 2.5. Remember, each of the sides are 2.5 meter. So we have created a variable side and we are storing 2.5. Next, let's calculate the total surface area. So I will create another variable area and the total surface area of a cube is 6 multiplied by square of its sides. So side and its square. Next I will display the area. Let's understand how Python interpreter will evaluate this expression. So here we have used assignment operator, multiplication and power operator. So Python interpreter, first it will evaluate this power operator because power operator has higher precedence than multiplication and assignment operator. So first square of the side will be calculated. Whatever the result, then it will be multiplied with 6 and finally the assignment operator will assign the result of this expression to the variable area. Then we are displaying the value that the variable area is storing. Now if we run the program, you can see we are getting 37.5 square meters. This is the total surface area of the container. Let's solve the next question. You are designing a decorative fountain that includes a hemispherical water basin. To ensure that the basin holds the correct amount of water, you need to calculate its volume. The radius of the hemisphere is 21 meters. Here we have given that the shape is hemispherical and we need to calculate its volume. Now they have mentioned that the radius is 21 meters. Now before solving this problem, we must know how to calculate the volume of a hemisphere. The formula for calculating the volume of a hemisphere is 2 by 3 pi r cube. I encourage you to pause this video and try to solve this problem. Let's calculate the volume of this hemisphere. So the radius of this hemisphere is 21 meters. Now let's calculate its volume. So the volume of a hemisphere is 2 by 3 multiplied by the value of pi. Suppose pi is 3.1415 and multiplied by cube of the radius. So radius cube. Next, let me display the volume of the hemisphere. Let's understand how Python will evaluate this expression. Here we have used assignment operation, division, multiplications, and power operator. First, Python will calculate the cube of the radius because power operator has higher precedence than any other operator. Next, we have division, multiplication. Now division and multiplication, they both have same precedence. So by default, Python evaluates our expression from left side towards right side. So since this division is occurring before multiplication, first this division operation will be performed. So 2 by 3 will be performed. Then whatever the result, it will be multiplied with the value of pi. Then finally it will be multiplied with the cube of the radius. Now then assignment operator will assign the result of this expression to the variable volume. Then we are printing the volume of the hemisphere. Now if we run the program, you can see it is displaying the volume of the hemisphere is 19,395.62 meters cube. Here we have mentioned the value of pi as 3.1415. But Python, it already provides us the value of pi. In order to use it, we can write import math. Now math is a module. In Python, we call a file as a module. Now press the Ctrl key on your keyboard and left click on this file. You will see math is actually a file. So in Python, we call a file as a module. Now inside this module, you can find we have various mathematical constant and functions. Now let's focus in the value of pi. In order to use the value of pi, we can write math.py. So inside this math module, we have the value of pi. Now here we are using dot operator in order to access the values that are present inside this math module. Now we will understand about dot operator when we learn about classes and objects. Now if we run the program, you will notice this time we are getting more accurate result. Remember, here import is a keyword using which we can import different modules in our program. Let's solve one more question. You invest $5,000 in a saving account that offers an annual interest rate of 5%. The interest is compounded annually. How much money will you have in the account after 3 years? Let's understand this problem. You have $5,000 in your account and the interest rate is 5% per annum. Now we have to calculate what will be the balance after 3 years. In order to calculate the amount, we can use compound interest formula, which is principal multiplied by 1 plus rate by 100 the whole power time. Now let's solve this problem. Here principal, it is $5,000. The rate of interest, it is 5 and the time, it is 3. Now the amount, it will be principal multiplied by 1 plus rate divided by 100 the whole power time. Next, let me display the amount. Let's run the program and it is displaying error. Let's try to understand why this error is occurring. It has occurred in this line. So our error has occurred here. Let's try to understand where it is happening. Well, if you notice, before this parenthesis, we have not added any operator. We must add a operator. Here we have to use multiplication operator. Now if you do not specify any operator, Python, it will not assume that you are using multiplication. It will simply throw you error. So now if we run the program, you can see we are getting the correct result. Let's understand how this operation will be evaluated. Here we have used assignment, multiplication operator, addition, division and power operator. Among this, parenthesis, it has higher precedence. So Python will first solve the expression that is inside the parenthesis. Now first this will be performed. Next, power operation will be performed. Then whatever the result, it will be multiplied with principal. Then assignment operator will take this value and assign it to the variable a. Hence, after 3 years, the balance in our account will be $5,788. Let's solve one more question. You invest $10,000 in a saving account that offers an annual interest rate of 6%. The interest is compounded annually. How much money will you have in the account after 6 months? Let's understand this question. So currently we have $10,000 in our saving accounts. Now the interest rate, it is 6% per annum. Now we need to figure out what will be the balance in our account after 6 months. Let's solve this problem directly. So let's store the amount. Here our principal, it is $10,000 multiplied by 1 plus rate of interest, it is 6 divided by 100 and the whole power time. Now notice we have to calculate the amount after 6 months. In 1 year we have 2 6 months, so the time will become 1 by 2. Next, let me display the amount. Now let's run the program. It is displaying $5,300 and this is completely wrong because we have invested $10,000. Now it has to be greater than $10,000. Let's understand why it is displaying the incorrect value. Here we are performing various operations. We are performing assignment operation, we are performing multiplication, addition, divisions, we have parentheses, and we have power operator. Now when Python interpreter executes the line, first it will evaluate the expression that is inside this parenthesis. So first it will be calculated. Next, Python will perform power operation. Now remember, here we have power operation as well as division. But since power operator has more precedence than this division, that's why the result of this expression power 1 will be calculated, and this is incorrect because we want to calculate the whole power 1 by 2, not 1. So in order to fix this, what we can do is we can write this 1 by 2 inside the parenthesis. So now when Python will evaluate the expression, first it will evaluate this parenthesis, then it will evaluate this parenthesis, then it will perform the power operation. Now let's add a parenthesis here. Now if we run the program, you can see we are getting the correct result. So if we invest 10,000 rupees with the interest rate of 6% per annum, after 6 months, the total balance in our account, it will be $10,259.63. Now here we have taken 1 divided by 2. We can also simplify and we can also write 0.5. In that case, there is no need to perform division as well as no need to write this parenthesis. But here I have taken 1 by 2 because I wanted you to be very much careful about precedence of operators.